Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory be unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Makar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace, salutations, and blessings be unto the hopeful elect, pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe, in the sincere hopes of being delivered in these last days. All right, this is the brother Yakanan from the GMS England branch, and this is going to be a brief video based upon this article taken from the Guardian.co.uk, and as you can see, it's entitled "Britain's Increasingly Turning to Food Black Market, Experts Say." Goods such as meat, cheese, and confectionery stolen in large amounts to be sold to people hit by high cost of living. All right. And this is, definitely a sign, of the times. This is an identifying mark that this kingdom, all right, is about to go down. All right. And due to this cost of living crisis that has been, afflicting the UK last, few years. Now, as they're reporting, you've had these black markets, formulated in response to, that crisis. All right. And people that are not, able to afford, their bare necessities and, particular groceries that they're used to, are now seeking to these various different black markets that have developed to source their products at a cheaper price. All right, because they can't afford to buy these same things in the supermarkets anymore. All right, because the prices have gone up, substantially, to the point where, people no longer want to invest that money, or rather don't have the money to invest in them particular products. All right, so now naturally they're saying, why not get it on the side, from these black markets, from these individuals that are, taking it, from the back of lorries, all right, and, various other, different means, okay? So again, this is a sign of the times, and this is an identifying mark of the end, of this kingdom, all right? And things are about to get, really hostile, all right? Things are about to get to the point of, the powers that be, having to step in and accelerate, further, this New World Order agenda, all right, to X out the possibilities of these things happening, all right? So no doubt, the wicked elite, they knew, things like this would transpire, and they know that they're going to have to respond, all right, with, further pushing their agenda, all right, to make sure that these things cannot go under the radar, all right? And that's why, the CHIP, all right, the Revelations 13 and 16 is so important for the wicked elites to establish upon the earth, because it X's out, any possibility of you being able to conduct business under the radar, all right? You being able to, have a black market and actually sell, these type of products to the people, because everything is going to be based upon, a digital transaction, all right? And when you have a digital transaction that can be traced, there's no possibility for you to have, a black market if it's all monitored by the powers that be, all right? Now, when you go to the definition of a black market, it says an illegal traffic or trade in officially controlled or scarce commodities. The men plan to sell the meat on the black market, all right? And it's funny, they use, food as an actual example, on the definition, okay? And that's the time that we're in, all right? People selling things on the black market, all right? Because things in the grocery stores are, are too expensive, all right? So it says a black market is any market where the exchange of goods and services takes place in order to facilitate the transaction of illegal goods or to avoid government oversight and taxes, or both. All right, so that's the prime goal, of these black markets, is to avoid government oversight and taxes. All right, so what's Esau going to do to combat that? He's going to introduce, this digital society. Okay, he's going to introduce the MOTB, the Revelations 13 and 16. Okay, in order to combat that very problem that he has created the environment to breed that very problem. All right, and that's Order Ab Kael. All right, because the elites, they study the people. All right, they've studied, history and how people react to particular climates. So they know that these things are going to happen upon the face of the earth. So they already have the solution. Okay, this is a part of the chaos that the wicked elites are knowingly engineering upon the earth, man. All right. Now it says here, increasing numbers of people are turning to a growing black market for food to supplement their diets as prices rocket, experts have said. Meat, cheese, and confectionery are among the items being stolen in large quantities from shops and lorries in order to be sold to people hit by a cost of living crisis. All right, so let's start off with this is Matthew chapter 24 and verse 12. All right, and this is in the NOT. Now it says, sin will be rampant everywhere, and the love of many will grow cold. Okay, and in the KJV it reads, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. All right, and that's exactly what we're seeing. All right, iniquity is abounding. Sin is abounding everywhere upon the face of the earth. All right, because of these conditions that the wicked elites, have set up, upon the earth. All right, again, Order Ab Kael. All right, so they're gonna create order out of the chaos that they've created upon the face of the earth, man. Okay, and people, the love of many is gonna wax cold. All right, people are gonna become very hostile, because when you start messing with, people's food and the way that they sustain themselves and their family, all right, things are gonna escalate into a cold and very ruthless, society. All right. Now it says, with food prices rising, figures in policing, retail, and academia said action was needed to stop people exploiting the rising demand for stolen food. All right, so there's a rising demand for stolen food. Okay, retailers are reporting a record year for shoplifting, costing the industry $1 billion this year, according to the British Retail Consortium's estimate. Home Office data shows the crime has reached the highest level since records began, while the proportion of shoplifting incidents that resulted in a charge has fallen. Yeah, because I believe out here in the UK, I'm not sure how it is in other places, but there is actually no point, for example, for an independent retailer, all right, to call the authorities if someone comes in and they steal like £100 worth of goods, for example. All right, there's no point calling the authorities because they won't even come out for that crime. All right, that's not seen as something that's urgent. So unless your shop gets proper raided and a substantial amount of goods is taken away, many of these retailers don't even call the authorities. Okay, because it's almost seen as a petty crime, and that's increased. All right, that has increased, and it's increased in supermarkets too. Now they have, in particular supermarkets, they have, security guards. But hey, there was one shop I was in, all right, when I was on the job, this was a few years ago, where the actual, the local thieves, so to speak, they actually learned, the patterns of the security guards, when they would go on breaks, all right, when they would change over, all right, so on and so forth. And they would just go to the store at those times and they would take what they needed and they'll leave, all right? And, that's what's happening out here, all right? So you're actually having these people watching, the rotors of these security guards, so on and so forth. And now you've had, these supermarkets, they're starting to install, facial recognition systems, all right, so they can recognize your face. So now when you come to the door, if you're a known thief, the door won't open, all right? And unless you leave, the door, and another customer comes, then it will open. All right, so they've actually got technology out there like that now, and I've seen that. All right, I've seen that before, where the security camera will notice someone and it won't open the door. They have that technology out here now in the UK. Okay, so again, that's just the scriptures say, we are not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. Okay, that's just more reason for him to input, this facial recognition system, everywhere you go. All right, and he's gonna use, the reason as to it being, regarded to theft. All right, so it says there's another section I wanted to read. Where it says a criminologist and shoplifting expert at City University of London agreed. She said, facing a cost of living crisis, many consumers were more willing to turn a blind eye to stolen food. She said, I don't think hard-working people who are now finding themselves in poverty are suddenly turning into criminals overnight. I think it's more complicated than that. A lot of people are more willing to buy stolen goods than to actually shoplift themselves because they are one step removed from it. Taylor said people told themselves it was a victimless crime and that theft was built into the business models of big retailers, and supermarkets were real criminals for raising prices, or that shops were ripping off farmers or their own staff. All right, so people actually justifying, all right, and they're put up on game as to what is really happening in the world and how dirty things really are, because a lot of these major retailers and enterprises are being exposed. Okay, especially when it came to the gas and electric skyrocketing prices last year. All right, people were like, hold on, these guys are still getting paid the same bonus, even more. They're hiking up prices when they don't need to. So people are getting angry, okay? People are getting more rebellious, and they're cementing themselves in that spirit. So now when it comes to, theft, so on and so forth, it's being fully justified by the people, all right? So that just means that Esau's going to have to come down hard on these people even more, which that's what he wants anyway, okay? Because your liberties are all going to get taken away, man. All your liberties are going to get taken away. All your rights are going to get taken away, man. And a lot of you out there are going to get CHIP'd, okay? So let me just get one more scripture, then we'll close out. This is 2nd Esdras, chapter 15 and verse 19. And it says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. All right. So again, this atmosphere is being breeded right now upon the face of the earth with things of this nature taking place. All right. Things are getting more ruthless. Like I read in Matthew 24, the heart of many shall wax cold. It's becoming a dog eat dog environment. All right. And that again, that's identifying marks as to the end, of Esau, Edom's kingdom, man. All right. So, with that, Lord willing, this brief lesson was edifying. And until next time, I'll say shalom.